What's going down, kinfolk? It's your boy Screwface Capone, the gaming mobster in the house, and welcome to another edition of Screwface's Toy Shelf. I know it's been a while since I had one of these things, but it's been a while since I came across a piece of tech that I wanted to take a look at. But anyway, I got a whopper for you guys. So anyway, I'm going to be on vacation pretty soon. I might even be on vacation by the time you watch this video. I'll also be moving later on this year as well. So, you know me, I gotta take my games with me. I already got my Nintendo Switch, and that serves its purpose. But when it comes to old school and stuff that's not on the Switch, I kind of want to float the 7 seas if you take my drift. So when it comes to traveling the 7 seas and shiver me timbers and all that stuff, you can find dozens of different devices that'll let you do that. If you search on Amazon or AliExpress, you can easily do a search and come up with dozens easily. Matter of fact, if you keep up with this channel, then you'll know that I even took a look at one of these devices a little over a year ago, around the last time I moved. That was a $70 handheld I got from Micro Center. But what's going to give you the best experience? What's going to give you the best price point? What's going to give you the best value for your dollar? What's going to give you the best quality of emulation? What's going to feel the most comfortable in your hands? You can ask 10 different people and you'll get 10 different answers. But two names that often come up in the conversation are the Retroid Pocket and, of course, Anbernic. They've both been putting out devices that have been at the top of their game, and there's a healthy amount of debate on which one is the best. Recently, Valve has entered the conversation with its Steam Deck device. Now, that's not used particularly for emulation, so much as it's used to let you play your Steam games on the go. But still, you can pretty much sideload it pretty easily. So the thing with the Steam Deck, though, is that it's a bit expensive. And unless you're willing to pay hundreds extra on sites like eBay, then if you want to buy one, you have to put yourself on a waiting list. And if you're lucky, you'll get it before Christmas. So that's where this baby comes in. This is the Anbernic Win600. It's Anbernic's first attempt at creating a Windows handheld. So, spec-wise, because, first of all, I'm not really big on specs. I just approach these things at a casual level. I unbox them, take a look at them, see how they run, and basically tell you what the experience is like. There are other channels out there that can break down the specs better than I could. But obviously, this isn't going to compete with the Steam Deck in terms of raw horsepower. You're not going to be running something like Elden Ring or Doom Eternal or any of those games. But if you want something that's a bit less graphically demanding, like a Dead Cells or, say, Fire Pro Wrestling or Ori and the Blind Forest, then you might want to look into these. And of course, you can always put your emulators on here, and that's what you're going to do anyway, right? Also, at the price point, you can get it for as low as $324 for the 128 gig version, or $400 if you want the 256 gigabyte version. This is directly from Anbernic's website, so other retailers might have it for slightly higher, but I have yet to see anyone have it for anything above $500. So I wouldn't call this a competitor to, say, the Steam Deck, so much as I would call it a competitor to something like this. This is the Aya Neo Air, and this is another Windows handheld. This might have better specs, but it's at a higher price point. So it really depends on what you want and what you're looking to do and how much you're willing to compromise price versus horsepower. But enough of that. We're going to go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what's inside. This is a very nice box, too. Okay, let's open it up. Alright, so this is the box. So let's lift it up. It's a very nice box. So, here we go with this. You got this foam covering over it. And here is the star of our show, the Anbernic. This just looks so elegant here. So here it is right here. It feels a little bit on the heavy side. You got your shoulder buttons. You got the face buttons. You got your joysticks and you got your screen. So here's the volume and what I assume is the power button that's on the side. And of course, here's a keyboard. There's a little switch where you can use like a, where you can switch to a keyboard or a mouse. I'm not sure how good you can see that. It's coming into focus. Well, a controller or a mouse or something like that. I'm not sure how that would work. So on the top, you got the speakers, you got the USB-C port, and of course there's the USB drive. And here's where you would plug in your headphones at, obviously. So here's the back of the unit. That's the Anbernic. So let's set that aside. Let's see what all you get in. Let's see what else you get in here. You get a screen protector. That's nice. I love it when they add in these things. I swear, whoever made, like, I actually got a similar one of these for my cell phone once, and whoever made that must have made this. And of course, here's your user manual. Let's see what's in here. No doubt this is where my plugs are being stashed. So here's a charger. I love it when these devices come with their own chargers. And here is the charge cable, or the sync cable. So I wonder if there's anything else underneath here. Nah, that's about it. So you get a screen protector, you get a the USB charge cable, and you get a cord for it. So pretty nice packaging. So now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and turn this on. But first I'm going to grab my Switch. So I got my Switch OLED because I wanted to compare it to the Anbernic, size-wise. So let me try to get some frame. My pretty keyboard. So as you can see, the OLED is slightly bigger than the Anbernic. But obviously, if you stand them up, the Switch is the Switch is thinner than the Anbernic. So while the Switch is slightly longer, the Anbernic is fatter. So I'm going to go ahead and set this thing up, put some games on here, and I'll be right back. So we're back, and I decided to grab some footage of various games in action. So I didn't want to be too extensive, I just wanted to get a little bit of a range of games, just to see what they will look like on here. Anyway, here's Dead Cells, and it seems like the type of game that will be perfect for a device like this. And of course it does. The controls fit, and the graphics run beautifully. Ditto for Vampire Survivors. Again, it's a low-res game, it's 2D, so of course the device is not going to have any problems running it. Moving on to 3D, so this is a little known game from Capcom. It's a beat 'em up from Don't Nod, who would later go on to make the Life is Strange games. It came out in 2013, and it really needs a sequel in my opinion. So the graphics work on this device, and the controls are responsive. There's a little bit of slowdown, but nothing that's crippling. Speaking of Capcom, and moving on, here's Ultra Street Fighter 4, and it does a great job of running the game, even on the highest graphical level. So I decided to move on to some more graphically intense games. Here's Deus Ex Human Revolution, and as you can see, it has no problems running the game either. The gold hue and all. It also has a little issue with Skyrim Special Edition. I noticed a little bit of slowdown, but there's nothing that's gonna really interfere with the gameplay. So, again, this is a good device to play Skyrim on. Now, moving on, I decided to step to some more graphically intensive stuff. And I tried Fighting Layer EX, which is a little known game from Akira. They're the ones who developed the Street Fighter EX games that were on PlayStation, and this is the game that they made featuring the characters that they developed for that game. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of slowdown, so it's a no-go. I tried toning down the graphics settings to their lowest, and it's still slow motion. So, yeah, you're not going to want to use this device to play that. Speaking of fighting games, this is Hellish Court, a game that came out in early access. It's a sword fighting game, and again, this runs too, unfortunately. I kind of figured it wouldn't be as bad on the hardware because this is more of an indie title, but yeah, there's a lot of slowdown, as you can see. Okay, so moving on to some more recent stuff, as in from last month, here's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. There is a lot of slowdown here, but it's not as crippling as it was with Fighting Layer. Still, this isn't the ideal game that you'll want to play on this device. Now, keeping in stuff that's more recent, again from the past month, this is Soul Hackers 2. Now, there is slowdown here as well, but this is a turn-based RPG. So if you want to take this game on the go with you and you're willing to trade off, then this might be fine. Otherwise, just play it on your PC. Now, of course, for shits and giggles, I decided to install Street Fighter V on here. It's the most graphically intense game that I could think of that could still fit on the hard drive. So as I predicted, like Fighting Layer and like Hellish Court, it ran pretty slow. There is a low spec option that you can start the game under. Now, thankfully, this will play the game at the normal speed, but as you can see, there's a trade-off of graphics. So if you want to play this game on this device, you probably won't. You're either stuck between a game that looks good but plays like crap, or a game with a graphical downgrade that looks just okay but still plays normally. Now, Super Robot Wars 30, on the other hand, it actually ran perfect on this device. There's a lot of animated sprites, but this is a turn-based strategy RPG game, so it wouldn't have anything that would be really graphically intense. Finally, you know I had to put some SNK on here. So here's King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match. And as you would expect, it runs flawlessly. Of course, I imagine that a 2D fighting game that was released in 2015 shouldn't have much trouble running. So that was the Anbernic Win600. It's a pretty decent device so far. If you want to play those side-scrolling 2D titles like Blasphemous, Dead Cells, Shovel Knight, or even something like Fire Pro Wrestling, then this is a good device for it. Like, even if you want to do something more graphically intensive, like, say, Skyrim, obviously you wouldn't do something that would push its limits like Doom Eternal or anything like that. Now, it's kind of difficult really to recommend this, like, as opposed to the Steam Deck and some of the other devices that have been coming out. But I think the two biggest advantages that this device has over it is that, one, you can actually purchase it right now, and two, it's got the lowest price out of all of them. So, again, if all you want to do is play some of the less graphically intensive titles, I mean, obviously you're not going to run PUBG or Fortnite on here, but if you want to play like something that's a bit easier on your processor, then this is a good machine for that. Now, while I was playing the device, I noticed that it did kind of make noise because there is an internal fan inside, and sometimes when playing some of the more graphically intense stuff, it did kind of warm up just a little bit. But all in all, it did feel pretty comfortable, and it is pretty thick. So you can also upgrade the device. So I'm definitely going to do that. Probably install a new SSD on it. And another thing I'm going to do is take more of a deep dive into the emulation, how it handles that. So I'm definitely going to put out a follow-up video pretty soon. So again, it's kind of difficult to recommend this one in the face of a Steam Deck. I'm probably going to get a Steam Deck eventually. But like, if all you want to do is just play like indie stuff, then this would be a decent device to check out. There's probably a lot more stuff that you can do with it. Again, this is just like an intro and the first impressions. But again, the price and it's easy to purchase. So those are the two main things about it. Now, one issue that I had with it is that the only way that it seemed to charge was if I used the AC adapter and the plug that I got that came with the unit. So if something happens to that, then I'm kind of assed out. Now, maybe there's a setting or something like that that I have to adjust in order to let me use just a regular USB-C adapter. So if anybody who's watching this knows that, then drop it in the comments. Anyway, kinfolk, if you made it to this part of the video, then I thank you for it. If you like what you just saw, then please click that thumbs up icon. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're new to this channel, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you click the bell icon, you'll be notified whenever I put out new content. I drop new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Of course, I missed last week because I'm still getting back from vacation and getting back to the swing of things. But I recently passed the 200 subscriber threshold, so I got tons of new videos coming out throughout the next week or so. I also have a podcast, Will Talks About Games. You can see that below in this description. And it's been a while since I uploaded an episode for that, but I'm also working on a new episode too. So that's going to be up later this week. I like to focus, not only do I like to focus on tech devices like this, but I also like to focus on indie titles, retro titles, mid-tier stuff, just more obscure stuff that might slip through the cracks. You know, my goal for this channel is to give you guys a alternative for the usual AAA slog, and also signal boost a lot of these great indie titles that are coming out. So again, like, comment, and subscribe. In the meantime, if you like watching videos about tech unboxings, I got a playlist called Screwface's Toy Shelf. It's got well, not tons. We're like 34 videos. It's all types of stuff. Plug and play devices, mini consoles, even the new next gen systems, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So definitely check it out. Just click the playlist that just popped up on your screen. And until next time, have a great week. And I'm Audi 51,000G, kinfolk.